let the energy wash over you in three.
everybody. How you all doing? You all okay? Hi, Niki. Hi, everyone. I've just been making myself a cup of tea. Hi, Richie. How is everybody? Hi, Chris. Hi, Tugbobo. Hi, Ipduo. Joe. Kane. Hi, Kane. Very tired at the moment, I am. I've not been sleeping very well, which isn't like me. I spent all of yesterday taking all of my hair extensions out. So, I've got a very sore head today. I hope you guys are good. I hope you had a good weekend, whatever you got up to. And yeah, welcome to the demo drop. We have got a plethora, a multitude of musics today. Richie's got a sore head. I have had a headache for some reason. Not a headache, eye ache. I have a sneaking suspicion it's from being on my phone too much. I don't know about you. Hello, Harrison J. I still need to remember to send you that thing. Can you please remind me in a Facebook message so we can get the track done? Hi, Techie Steph. You can, Tugbobo. You can have them. That's fine. Of course. Yeah, I'm getting a whole brand new set of extensions in. I have these really cool ones now called nano beads, nano extensions, which basically means that you can reuse them loads of times. Hi, Mike. But this time they were getting a little bit rat-taily, so this time I'm having some new ones put in right before my civil partnership to Guy. So we are getting civil partnerships next week. Yay! So we're having a very, very simple affair. We are literally just going in to sign the papers. We've got some friends coming and family members, but we had to keep saying, look, don't make it. It's not a big deal. We're just doing the legalities. Hi, Magic. But we'll have like a proper blessing, like in maybe in about a year's time, 2 years' time, just when we can afford to do that. We'll have like a nice blessing, but we didn't want to like mix the legal side of it with the love side. So main thing is we're getting legally bonded just in case anything happens to me or anything happens to Guy, because you know we're getting older now, got to think of these things. Oh, Niki, that's lovely. Oh, I'm so happy for you. So yeah, I'll be looking all nice and fresh for that. I'll put some pics in the Discord as well. So yeah, we've got the demo drop today. Oh, my neck is really hurting because when I take out my hair extensions, I've always got lots of matting. So like there's a lot of like doing this. It was like hours of it last night. I did it in front of the TV. Taking out all the hair extensions, so I feel like I've been like in a mosh pit all night. How you doing, Pete? We've even got one of my tracks. I finished a track a couple of days ago, yesterday. Hi, Twisted Glyph. So, and I've put my track out for, it's a remix that I've done, which is now, yes, hi Fat Man. It's the one that you heard the other day. I finished it and it's out now for you guys to download. I like the way you piss. Yes, that one. So we'll get started. First track is Technikal and Adam Taylor featuring Claire Willis, and this is Serenity. This is actually going to be forthcoming on one of my record labels. So yeah, here we go.
Serenity, it takes over me. Serenity is where I'll be. A place where I belong. How could it be so wrong? Serenity.
go. Technikal and Adam Taylor featuring Claire, Willis, Serenity. Yeah, it is more like a listen party than music critique session. Either or, you know, like I think both things are important and they don't need to be mutually exclusive either. But yeah, I agree. Hi, Mahel. I agree because there's so much great music that you guys are making now. So, yeah, sometimes like I don't really have anything to say. Because, yeah, like you quite rightly, you know, point out there, it is more like a listening party. I get so inspired by listening to all your music as well. I find it really helpful to get over my own little creative ruts. I even had a chat with someone literally today about creative ruts and, you know, how to combat them, how to get out of them. Yes, Tugbobo, that's right. So this is the demo drop. We are listening to tracks that viewers of my show have made. So it's not just anyone's music. You can't just send something in that you like that someone else has made. It's literally the music that that the people who watch my show have been making. Because there's so many. Like I have more. Have you made a track, Tugbobo? You'll have to send it in to the details there. And what I do is I listen. Don't send it in Discord, send it here. Hi, Roxy. So it has to be in the same place. You have to make sure that you put demo drop in the header of the header of the email. Because otherwise I won't know that it's for the demo drop. I'll just assume it's like just something for me to play in my sets or whatever. So yeah, just send it to there and then I will listen to it. And then if it's deemed ready, I will put it on the show. And if it's not, then I will give you some very helpful advice on what to do next to get it to that stage. But yeah, that's what it's all about, is helping you guys to get to the next level of your production. Next up, we have got... Oh, yeah, I had nothing to say about that track because it was just really nice to listen to. I've heard it quite a few times now. Like I said, I've signed it to my label. But yeah, I agree, Mahal. Claire's vocals are amazing. So, yeah, I just think she's so talented. And if you have a good vocalist, it kind of helps to tie in the rest of it together anyway. But obviously, we all know Technikal is an awesome producer, and you guys probably know how much I play Adam Taylor's stuff anyway. A lot of my uplifting trance sets are Adam Taylor remixes of stuff. And thank you, Roxy, I'm glad that you like it. Thanks, babe. Yeah, so I'll be playing that actually on the show in a little while. But before that, we have Elektrinate next. Here we go. And this is Omen 1. Sorry, I'm muted. So what was I saying? So yeah, that's Elektrinate, Omen 1. Some really strong stylistic choices, and I've known Elektrinate for a very long time. A very, very long time. And like he's a very dark, industrial, hard trance kind of a person, and that completely reflects in how they are as a person with like this style. And I liked what a few people were saying about sounding quite push kind of style. Like the phaser on that lead was great. The ideas really bring to mind that feeling of, it's called Omen 1. Really bring like this kind of like uneasiness in the choice of the, you know, the style of the melody, and also the decision making on the sounds used. And yeah, I really like it. I think it could do with a little bit of fine tuning in terms of a mix down. I thought the cymbal crashes were just a little bit overbearing, but I also quite like the rawness of the track as well. So I don't know whether it's the subjective me talking in there more than anything, because I quite like the very free party, raw arrangement and ways that, you know, way that this kind of sounds. I quite like it, but I think it would sound epic. I think someone else mentioned it as well. Someone else mentioned something about if you got the bass. I can't find it now. A bit boost on bass or compression would do wonders. Yeah, I agree. I think at this stage it would you could send it as like stems to get mastered, and that would really help. Or you'd learn a lot through doing the mix down yourself as well. So yeah, like a rule of thumb, and something that I've talked about before, is kick always wants to be the loudest instrument sound in the mix down. So that at -6. That bass line wants to be tickling around about -5, maybe -4, but just slightly under the kick. And then all your other elements will probably be like your clap and stuff might be around anywhere from -12 to -18. It might even be a bit higher depending on the style of music you're doing. But if you set your kick and your bass at around -6, it could go lower if you wanted, but I find that on most mixer channels, which are exponential, you have more room for maneuvering up and down and more control around the -6 mark. And then just make sure everything else sits underneath that. So, for example, those cymbal crashes, I wouldn't be surprised if they were as loud, or if not even slightly louder than the kick, because they were really peaking out, and you want those to be kind of set back. And sometimes that can happen if they were like the last thing that was added to the track. We've listened to it. If it's like that, one of the last things that's been added to the track and it's quite loud, that's why it'll be quite loud, because we were concentrating on putting them in. That's why, even if you feel no worries, happy, even if you feel like, oh, this is mixed down, I don't need to redo it. No, definitely do a mix down after you've put in all of after you've put in all the elements, and then after, if you've added any processing to anything. So what I tend to do is I'll mix everything down once everything's in and everything's been processed, everything's on its bus groups, and then I'll probably do another one as well on fresh ears, just to recognize, or just to ascertain whether or not I'm like just listening intently to one instrument, like the cymbal crashes or whatever it was I was doing last, because sometimes your brain will play tricks on you. but I really liked it. I really liked the sounds in it. I liked the choices made and the arrangement, the composition. Yeah, really, really nice. So thank you for sending that in, Elektrinate. I can never say it. Next up, we've got Jason Nawty, and Jason Nawty has submitted a track called Ever After 3 Kilometers. And this is a Jason Nawty 2024 Donk bootleg. There we go. Jason Nawty, 2024 Donk bootleg of Ever After 3KM. Yeah, Roxy, it's any genres. You've heard it before, Jason, so don't worry if you've missed it. We didn't, and that's the main thing. I really like this. Really, really like this track. Don't forget, gang, that this is a free download, and I am leaving the download link for you right now. So go and grab yourselves a copy of it for free. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really energetic. I liked the donk. It wasn't like a typical donk, but it was extremely energetic. I like the simplicity of that vocal as well. And I also like the melody and the progression within this as well. So yeah, all in all, just a really great track. And it's memorable as well. So yeah, thank you very much for sending it in, Jason. I appreciate you. And yeah, everyone, you can go and get your free download of it right now. And then you can play it whenever you want. There you go. Next up, we have got Niki J in the house. And have a little listen. We're gonna have a little listen. Here we go. This is Niki J, Deepest Fears.
deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
So there we go, Niki J, Deeper Spheres. I think you're doing a really good job with this. As soon as you start introducing melody into a track, it can start to complicate things. So I appreciate that you kept it quite simple by not changing the root, the note of the bass, which actually works really well with that melody. I could definitely hear a change up or a progression with that bass line, but it would then introduce more stuff that might need to get fixed in the mix after that. Like, because as soon as you start to change notes in the bass progression, you'll probably come to a point where there'll be certain notes that will be louder or quieter. So that's something that I've experienced, where, you know, sometimes it can be just as simple as a change in the velocity, which will sort it out, but sometimes you might need to do something that's called key follow or key tracking, which I've been using recently in a synth for my bass lines. And what it will do is it will activate on a certain note, so it will push up like an EQ band or something, and by doing that it kind of keeps everything nice and balanced, instead of doing it in a way which you might need to use like compression or something, and then you can sometimes lose some of the qualities or the transients of the bass. So I like the fact that you kept it quite simple. The other thing is, I love the sounds that you were using in this. I love the layering up of that melody after 16 bars, and then you brought in like a top octave. I thought that was great. I love the choice of vocal that you used as well. Guys used that vocal in one of his tracks as well. So yeah, I think it's a really, really strong track, and you will move on from this one and just get better. So it's really nice when you have a good track like this, just to, you know, bank that feeling and remind yourself, you know, you're going in the right direction. Because ultimately what will happen is something won't happen very well on the next track, and then you'll be like, oh, can't do this, and then you'll get through it, and then you'll feel ace again. So it's really important in moments when you do something really great to bank that feeling and not forget it, because it will spur you on to complete the next tune and the next tune and the next tune. No, I won't be doing that, Happy Place Traveller, because I don't think it's a good idea for me to glorify vaping. I only vape because I used to smoke cigarettes, and I don't want to do that anymore, and I will at some point end up not smoking a vape either, because really ultimately the only thing that should be going into anyone's lungs is oxygen. Air, not just oxygen. Air with oxygen in it. You're welcome. You're welcome, mate. Well done. Yeah, that's the thing, Niki. Niki said that I'll have loads half done because of me saying I can't do it. Do you know what? So do all of us. And it doesn't matter. Do you know the thing about having those half-finished projects is if you've got a really good idea in there, don't let it go to waste. If you've got like a really cool MIDI idea or a really nice sound, bank it. You know, make sure that you extract the MIDI pattern from that project, because you might not ever finish that project and you don't want those ideas to go to waste. So what I always do is I will save the MIDI pattern into a special folder of my favorites for that month and that year, and put it in there along with a render of a WAV bounce of it as well. Any vocals or any of the little ideas, I'll also save those, just so that the initial idea does not get lost in a project that will never get finished, because ultimately you might have a really, really good idea for something, and it could have been a few years ago, and you'll go back in, some of the plugins that you used back then won't work, and also it might just be so much unraveling of stuff that it's actually going to be more work to continue on that project, where it'd be less work just to extract the bits that you like, start again in a new project. So, hi, System Failure. How you doing? P. Diddy pattern. What? Is that what you heard, Richie? So Richie's my moderator and he's not a music producer. So he hears things differently. So you heard MIDI pattern as P. Diddy pattern. Brilliant. Oh, my God. Not sure if you use this, but what are the disadvantages to use noise removal to lower volume rather than changing the amplification? Or similarly, to raise the low bass and high treble to increase the volume slightly? Well, you're talking about two different things there. Hello to We Live Hard House. Noise floor removal, I think that's what you're on about when you say noise removal. That's usually something that you will do if you've recorded your voice or another instrument and there might be background noise. So years ago, like the best way that we would have done it would have been Audacity has a tool for it where you find some of that noise, loop it over, and then the algorithm will take that away, but it's still destructive. The best idea is to, if you are recording in something that might have some noise behind it, is have a very good microphone. Make sure that you have sound treatment, acoustic treatment around it, so that there isn't much noise floor to need to work with. And also record in 32-bit floating, because then there won't be any clipping, any distortion. But that's different to what you've said there, raise the low bass and high treble to increase the volume slightly. No, you wouldn't want to do that. If you wanted to increase volume, you would probably normalize it, because then it would do everything together. I hope that that's helped. Hello, Zerek. 32-bit floating, yeah, because there's no headroom on 32-bit floating. So it's like if you like, for example, if you've got someone that's singing a vocal and they're a bit of a screamer, or you're doing like rock music, then yeah, 32-bit floating will be brilliant because, like I said, there's no headroom, so you don't need to watch for any clipping. Quentin says there is a plugin based on AI that can remove background noise from vocals. Yep, there are much better ways of doing it now. Bobo's a bit of a screamer. But back in the Dizzy, we would have to use something like Edison or Audacity, find the noise floor, which will be like a kind of like shh kind of noise in the background, and then get it to analyze that within all the rest of the stuff. But like I said, it could be very destructive. So it's better to fix it in the recording first by having the right acoustic treatment and being close enough to the microphone that won't be an issue. So yeah, but there are some better ways of doing it now. Is this hoodie the demo drop uniform? I have loads of hoodies. It's just more comfortable for me. Oh, that's cool, Wilson. Yeah, and there's other things called like cloud lifters, which I think helps amplify the sound, but that might introduce noise floor as well as sort out an amplification issue. Oh, excuse me. Tugboba says, yeah, the background shh noise. So yeah, if it's in that case, you can use a noise gate if it's live, or it doesn't even need to be live, but you could use a noise gate, and then that you could set that. I think I've got one on here, but I don't use it on this show. What I use it for is when I'm doing my live stream music production live streams, so that you don't hear the track through the speakers. No, it's not. But yeah, that shh noise, yeah. But if you don't set it right, it can also make the sound of your voice like come in and out as well. So, like I say, it's best to get a decent microphone. It depends on the singer as well. Like a dynamic microphone is great for like rock singers and like roaring. This one that I've got now, this is a cardioid condenser microphone. And the difference is a condenser microphone will pick up the plosives, or not the plosive, it will pick up the dynamics and the transients of the voice a lot more accurately. So it sounds nicer. But you can't scream into one of these. But if like when I'm DJing, the one I've got is the Shaw SMB 58 or something, SM58. And that one is a dynamic microphone. You can do what you want with that. I haven't tried. Well, I know what would happen. It would just distort. Yeah, they are bomb proof, and they're amber proof as well. So that's why I have an SM58. Yeah, they're great. They are. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the tests on YouTube where they like run over the microphone in a lorry and like smash it on the ground. Do you remember though, gang? Do you remember years ago I actually managed to break my SM58? It was live on a stream. It was during COVID, And then like everyone was like, oh no, we can't hear Amber. You weren't like, well, you are now. You're like, oh, thank God for that. And then everyone donated and got me enough to get myself another mic literally the next day. Richie remembers. But yeah, like, I don't know how I broke it. Hey, oh yeah, it wasn't even my one, was it? It was Guy's. It was Guy's. And I was like, oh shit, this isn't even my microphone. He's not asked for it back yet. I don't even think I told him. It's fine. We'll be married next week, so it doesn't matter. It will be technically mine then anyway. Yay. So, yeah, Niki, well done, mate. Next up, we have got my new track that I've done. I've done a remix of a track that I kept hearing. Hi, Grouse Beats. Yeah, good to see you, mate. I did this remix because I kept hearing this vocal, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the original's called Artemas. I Like It When You Kiss Me. So I did like a kind of like hard house 90s dancey kind of remix of it, and I'm giving it away for free download. So here we go. I've just got to find it. Okay, found it. In here. Okay. there you go. It's my Thingamabob remix. If you want to get a copy of it, then there you go. Go and get your free download of it. I hope you like it. Didn't take too long, actually. I started it during... Oh, okay, cool. I just need to ask, though, is it something that you've made with AI, or have you made it using a DAW? Like, have you used like Ableton or FL Studio, that kind of thing? The reason why I ask is, although I think it's great to use AI as like a tool. Oh, both. Okay, well, that's fine then, because I don't think I can start playing stuff that's just been made only with an AI engine. I think there has to be there needs to be it needs to be made with a DAW as well. So 107 different parts into the DAW. Oh my God, what were you doing? Crazy. What DAW do you use? Just out of interest. But yeah, I think that's great if you can use, if you are utilizing AI into, what AI engine are you using as well? Yeah. 107 different parts into the DAW. I'm just wondering how that would work. I guess I'll just have to get round to your track and listen to it. But yeah, if you've sent it to the email address, then I will definitely get round to listening to it. We've just had such a backlog of tunes. So yeah, Logic X Pro. Wow. Cool. Yeah, well, I look forward to hearing it. I think that's awesome that you are integrating AI with your actual music as well. And I ripped out stamps from it with RipX. Do you mean, oh, so like you took all the individual instruments or parts, stems? Yeah. Wow. See, I'm interested to hear what the results are for you from that, because my only worry is when we do that, we start to introduce artifacts, and you won't have as much control like over the percussion and stuff as you might do with doing things, like with one shots with percussion, for example, and all that kind of thing. But we will see. I'll have a listen to it, and we'll see if you've managed to, get a good result from that, because that's brilliant. And I think also that the AI is just going to get better and better over time. Yeah, exactly. If there are a few AI engines out there that can act a little bit like Melodyne, where you can actually put in the MIDI notes or even sing it yourself and then get the AI to do it for you. So you're using Suno's. Suno's great. Suno's great for just doing like a whole tune. But then of course, separating all, and it's not always the best quality either. But it does help you to get ideas. So yeah, exactly. Well, brilliant. Cool. I look forward to hearing it, mate. Next up, we have got Wilson Serrano. And this is United featuring Charlie Albers.
United. All of us united. Not all are here to stay. All we need is music for us to find our way. The words and mood connect us when times are feeling tough. Keep on fighting forward. Just know you are enough.
There we go, Wilson Serrano. I really like this. I think it's very, very what I'm used to hearing from you, Wilson, with the amazing melodic elements. I like how you can do the same thing over and over again, but it always sound very unique. And obviously, all of these tracks would sound awesome on an album together. You've definitely got your sound down. Watch the clipping on it though. It did sound a little bit like you were running into the clipper a little bit, and it sounded a little bit distorted. So yeah, that's how it sounded to me. But obviously, it's just a very quick fix on the master to make sure it's not. It's just something that we can sometimes not really even be aware of that we're doing. It's kind of to do with the whole loudness war thing as well as you know what we spoke about earlier with the mixing down, make sure everything's like under -6 so we've got enough headroom for the master. It could just be my ears, but it did sound like it was a little bit clipping slightly, but it didn't stop me from enjoying the track. A little, found out after it was sent to distribution. But it's not. It's probably only noticeable to producers. I don't think it's going to be like. It's just one of those things, Wilson. You know what it's like. Everyone does it. I've played tracks where it's been clipping, and I've still played it. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But you won't do it again, and that's sometimes just the key thing to take away from it is just to just check and then double check on fresh ears. But it's so difficult, isn't it, when you want to get stuff out there. But yeah, thank you for confirming that it wasn't me just hearing things. It's such a minefield, isn't it? Sometimes, like, is it not? Don't know. But yeah, it did. Like I say, it didn't take away from the enjoyment of it. I really, really like that vocal, and I do love the I always feel very light after I've listened to one of your tunes. So I'll quite happily buy the album. So just saying. So yeah, make sure you go and follow Wilson. Charlie's voice was used all the way. Okay, that's amazing. You used an actual person's voice, no AI. That's going to be like a unique selling point in the future, in the not too far away future. I use an actual person's voice for this tune. Well, what a lovely voice it is. Really, really liked it. And I love the sentiment behind it as well. So yeah, really nice. Next up, we've got Quentin. Quentin is back. Here we go. This is Again and Again. So this is actually the... Hi, Bosky. Lads. So this is actually one that was sent over 3 years ago. Which Quentin has significantly changed his workflow and improved over the years, and has decided to remake this track that he made all those years ago, with all the new abilities that one gets in 3 years' time as a producer. That's amazing. So let's have a little listen. we go. Quentin Newman again and again. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad that you feel happier about this version as well. So Quentin said, when I look back of my progress through the years, I'm proud of myself. Brilliant. That is exactly what you need to be confirming to yourself. And that goes for all of us. So it's quite natural to attempt to compare ourselves in any walk of life, in any subject of things, looks, career, music production, clothes, makeup, whatever it is, and compare ourselves to another person. But it's really unfair to do that, because always it's a very there's a piece of literature called Desiderata, which I have tattooed on my arm, that my mum gave me, and a part of it in that says there will always be greater. Do not compare yourself with others, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. And it's such a good way to think about it, because really ultimately the only person who you should ever be comparing yourself to is previous versions of yourself. So when we look at previous versions of our music, we are looking into our own personal history of ourselves. And when you do that, you will see a much more accurate example of progress. Comparing yourself to someone else's music is absolutely pointless, because they've had a whole different journey to get to that point. And you don't know whether they use engineers, you don't know whether they're doing all of it themselves, or if they've been doing it for years and years and they are actually even making their own patch of presets, Max for Live. So you don't know, like, to the extent, unless you know them really well, what someone else's journey has been to get to where they are. So it can be kind of pointless and actually off-putting to ourselves to compare ourselves to anyone else. That's why it's important just to compare yourself to previous versions. So, Quentin, you're so welcome, mate. That's what we're here for, because it's such a great track, so well balanced. It's 6 minutes 30, so it's a great arrangement and length. That's what she said. I like the fact that you said it's less boomy now, so that's freeing all of the bottom end up there, so it's not going to sound muddy. Everything sounded great. The kick and the bass sounded brilliant. So yeah, it's I hope that you have shown yourself something with this, because you should be very, very proud of this tune. There's nothing that I hear in that track that I would be critical about at all. Nothing at all. I thought it was brilliant, so well done. Yeah, and it is hard when you're unknown, and as you'll know, it's really important to be making music for yourself. Really important, because that's the way that you will ultimately get the most out of. Because if you start making music for labels and there's nothing wrong with doing that as an exercise, but what will happen is, if you put all of your expectations for feelings of success and that you did something great on external sources like other people, and record labels signing you or not signing you, or people downloading your track or buying your track, then you're always going to be on the back foot. If you're doing it for you, there's much more possibility that this will be something that you will do forever, and there's much more possibility that the music you make will be more authentic, and there's much more possibility that a lot of other people will like what you do as well and be fans of yours. So please, guys, if you're not already, please go and follow Quentin immediately. Do as you're told. Yeah, mate, I'm really, really proud of you. Go on. Next up, thank you, Grouse Beats. That's the right answer. Do as you're told. Next up, we've got Shaun Williams, and this is Facelift. There we go. Facelift by Shaun Williams. I love it when a trance tune, very similar to Quentin's as well, when they don't need to have a vocal in there in order for it to feel complete. It's a skill to write a melody or a riff that kind of like sings, that has that expression that you would usually have from the vocal. And I feel that this track really does a really good job of that without it overpowering everything else in there as well. It's very subtle, but also very emotive. There were definitely some moments in there. It's very, it was like a nice mixture between uplifting and quite melancholy in areas as well, which I feel is the most important thing of a decent trance track, is to be able to evoke that kind of emotion. Yeah, tracks that carry themselves instrumentally, yeah. Because you can just stick a vocal on something and then, you know, it will sound... It will... We've spoke about this before. It hides a lot of stuff. So if you want to express yourself without that, you know, you've got to choose sounds wisely, and especially with trance, find a way to tell that story with that melody. And yeah, I felt that was really, really well done with this. So please go and show Shaun some love. Go and follow his SoundCloud. Yeah, I just really enjoyed listening to that. I thought it was a great track overall. And yeah, I agree. There's some really good trance tunes from you guys today. Not just today either. Like, usually there are always decent trance tracks of yours on this show. So keep them coming. Thank you. Next up. Oh, I just need to say as well. So yeah, don't try not to send me any of your links and stuff to things like Facebook Messenger or Discord or even Whispers on here. The reason for that, there's many reasons, but I'll go through a few. Number one, I get sent an insane amount of messages every single day, including messages I'd rather not get. Dick pics, messages off people saying, hello, pretty. How are you, pretty? I even have a thing called the Amberdpromo inbox of doom, where any of the really weird ones, they get star place in the Amberdpromo inbox of doom. And I also get sent a lot of business related messages every single day, and stuff from friends or family members. That's not the correct one, Happy Place Traveller. The correct one is on the screen there. It's not Amher. Amher de Numno. No. It's the one up here. Because, and also the other reason is when I look at Messenger messages, I'm on my phone. I'm not on my computer. So I can't download or listen to music properly on a phone, you know? And then at that point, when I've listened to it, I'm going to forget that you've sent it to me, and it's going to go down that list because I get more and more messages throughout the day. And then by next week, when it's time to do the show again, your message is gone. Like, your message, let's just forget it's ever happened, because it will be under hundreds and hundreds of new messages that have now come through. So it's not like I can just pick up a link right now and then play it without listening to it. And I do that for 1 hour protection, my protection on the show, and also your own protection, because I need to just double check that it's listenable, that, you know, there's not anything that's, you know, gonna not make it listenable. Like sometimes it can be distorted, or there might be a problem with the with something being out of key, and you can't suck it back once it's been played on the show. So yeah, always has to be email. Like it keeps it all in the same place for me, and it also protects me. We've had instances on the show. We've been doing this show for years now, like 3 years at least, and we had a guy called Jeffrey. Do you remember, Richie? We had a guy called Jeffrey, and Jeffrey was literally taking music from the internet. Yeah, do you remember? He took other people's music, changed. He was just getting like YouTube rips of what he thought would be that we wouldn't know. And at first I was a little bit, this is weird, because he sent me like 5 or 6 tunes, and I could tell like the production quality was wildly different on each track, but he said he'd made all of them. And they were like remixes of big names, or they were just quite obscure, like electro tracks, like that he thought that we wouldn't know what they were. And then he just renamed them with his name and then a new like title. Thank you, Tufty. Thank you, sweetheart. And pretended that he'd made these tracks on his own. And I was like, I'm quite a gullible person, which is a strength and it's also a weakness. And I don't want to be rude, so I just assumed that he wasn't lying. But I just remembered like hearing like 3 or 4 of them at a time. I remember thinking like the production style and also the mastering was very, very different on every single one. And usually if you're making your own music, there'll be some kind of uniformity to it. But there was none. And it was on a live stream. We were actually on the live stream when someone in the audience, it's one of the viewers, it was a friend of mine, Mike Emery, he went, "That's not his tune. That is an Ingrosso Electro 2006 remix of something, whatever it was." And I was like, what? Really? So I listened to his, because then he was in the chat, he was like, no. He's like, it's mine, it's my track. I've just maybe used some bits from it, but it's my music. And we were like, okay, wait there a second. So we went and listened to the one that Mike said it was, and then listened back to his one that he'd labelled as his track, and it was exactly the same fucking tune. And then I was like, hang on, I'm going to go through your email now, and we're going to listen to the other 4 tracks that you have on there. And then we listened through to every single one of them, and every single one of them was another person's tune. Because at that point, then I just started Shazamming, and it came up Shazam. And then we went through all of them, and all of them were just, honestly, Joe, it was, I never thought someone would actually do that. You know, you hear of these horror stories of people who actually do that. They will like just pretend that they've made a track. Sometimes it happens if a track's licensing has or like if it's been signed to a label that's come to an end. I've heard instances where people will then just like recycle the track and just put a different name on it and then just re-release it and stuff. And I just think it's really lazy, really lazy, and it's yeah. And a friend of mine recently, she can't tell you who it is because she's managed to deal with this like without having to out this person, but they were making a track for her, and they sold her a track and then sold the exact same track to someone else, and then the track got really big, and David Guetta played it on a big show or something, and then she was very confused as to why this was happening. Yeah, it's wild. Like it's bizarre because like it's not a world that I ever really come into contact with very often, thankfully. And that's probably because being very old in the tooth with all of this, you get spoilt because I've got a lot of people who I can talk to about these things and not really ever, have a problem with it. But when people are just coming into the industry, and someone says, "Hey, I can make you a track," and it turns out to be, it really is. It's not ideal. So my advice to people is please try to make your own music. Use an engineer. Absolutely use an engineer. Get those ideas in with an engineer who can bring your ideas to life. But don't try just to stay away from someone that's going to just sell you a track without you being there or having anything to do with it. Because, especially if you don't know that person. And certainly don't rip off other people's music and think you're going to get away with it like Jeffrey did. It was just so bizarre. Hi, Elektrinate. Yeah, we listened to your track earlier. We loved it. Everyone, please go and follow Elektrinate, please. We really liked it. But yeah, that's one of the other reasons why, getting back on from my ADHD tangent, that's one of the main reasons why I have to listen to stuff in advance of playing your music. I can't just sit here and then just play it straight away. I have to vet it to a degree. But to be quite honest, in all of the years we've been doing this show, that only ever happened once. It's only ever happened once. So, hi Marana. Resent that track, and this time I followed the directions for the subject line. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so that's the other thing you need to do. You have to head the email demo drop. And the reason for that is I get sent a lot of emails from promo lists. So I need to know that the track you're sending is for the demo drop as well. Because some of the promos that I get, I'm not allowed to play in this kind of environment before it's been properly released or whatever. So yeah, so there's a lot of work that goes in the background to do these shows, but it's fucking worth it. And you know, I love spending this time with you guys, you know, in a musical way, because it keeps us all accountable and it keeps us all making music. So I've been really regular with my music at the moment. I've been making sure I'm at least doing an hour a day. If not, it's either an hour or it's 6. Tug Bobo, yeah, every Tuesday. Hi, C James. No, you haven't missed. We've got one more left. I've got one more tune. This is People Like Us, and this is Cheese and Pickles. Here we go.
To be holding up in a filthy garage with a cheese and pickle sandwich. Cheese and pickle sandwich. Cheese and pickle, 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 face it. Cheese and pickle, 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 face it. Cheese and pickle, pickle, cheese and pickle, delicious. Must be in some mess to be holding up in a filthy garage with a cheese and pickle sandwich. must be in some mess to be holding up in a filthy garage with a cheese and pickle sandwich. Cheese and pickle sandwich.
There we go. People Like Us, Cheese and Pickles. And that is a free download as well, gang. So if you want to get that track, go and download it for free. So People Like Us is no stranger to this show. And I really like his fun nature when it comes to his music and the funny ideas that he has and the way that he incorporates, kind of like the name People Like Us, incorporates observational humor with his music. And I can tell like all the percussion and stuff, even down to the pitch automation on the rides and stuff. Like he does spend a good amount of time on the actual track itself, but I just love the fun element and the weird like little vocals that he'll pick out from, I don't know, like some kind of soap opera or an advert or, you know, a Britney song or whatever it is. Yeah, that song was campy without feeling cheesy. Yeah, but it just, we're all going to remember it now, aren't we? That's what I love about it. I love the playfulness and the childlike, like the thought process behind it. Do you know, like, oh, that'll make a mint track using that. And there was one that he did a few weeks ago called Head on My Shoulder, which was from an old 50s tune. Put your head on my shoulder. And then from that idea, someone else, I think it's is it DS3? His hard techno alias name. He went then and did a remix of it off hearing it on here, and now he's released it. I haven't got the link at the moment to send it or put it in the chat, but that's the great thing about this show, and just listening in general to other people's music, getting on SoundCloud, just listening to other people's music, because it will inspire you to then get into the studio and make your own music, and that's what it's all about. Stop it, Happy. That's so rude. But yeah, there you go. Well, you've got WAP. You know, how many remixes of that were there? Loads. Anything can be a tune at the end of the day. Yeah, and I love that about music. I love how it is very subjective in a lot of ways. And I also love how I've been opened up musically even more to music that I would probably not have really even thought of as being like relevant to me as a predominantly hard dance DJ. So I get exposed to so many different styles of music through doing this show, and telling you, it's definitely helped me to be a better producer because of that. If you just listen to your type of music or your favourite genre of music and did never let any other genres in, you would not get a lot of inspiration, because all the ideas that you'd get musically will just be ones that have already been done in your genre. What's that? His Straight Outta Compton track. I'm going to have to play it now. I'm going to play it as the last one. Are you on his thingy now? Like, you can get some of his music from here. I think I've heard this one. Okay, this is his Straight Outta Compton one.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called niggas with attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sawed off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you fuck with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk motherfuckers that's showing out. Niggas for the mumble, they wanna rumble. Makes a man cook them in a pot like gumbo. Going off on the motherfucker like that. With a gat that's pointed at your ass. So give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move. Here's a murder rap to keep ya dancing.
where it like switches off. Like it just ends abruptly. But that's kind of what I love about his music is this unpolishedness. Yeah, you can have the link to that. I'll link you now. It's just like, I've got an idea. I'm just gonna fucking do it now, and then get it out there. And yeah, I just think it's awesome. I really do. But yeah, that is the end of the show now. Elektrinate, don't worry, you'll be able to listen back to your review of your track straight after the show. I'll make sure that I put it live so that you can listen back to it. And of course, it will all be going out on YouTube as well. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, it's just so good. So good. But all of his stuff's like that. All just like small, like little ideas. And yeah, I just think that he's amazing, so talented, as are all of you at the end of the day. So it's about being inspired, you know, take chances, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and absolutely please send your music in so we can hear what you've been up to. So I'm going to send us all over to my good friend Malin. And yeah, I will see you all on Thursday. Night, guys. I love you. Thanks for being awesome. And I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you, Kane. Love you. Bye, everybody.